Welcome to Marketing Strategies with Audrey Kirchner, sponsored by Inkyma, taking your small business to the next level with proven creative solutions designed to grow your awareness and connect to your customers. Now, here's Audrey.
Hi there and welcome. This is Audrey Kirchner, co-founder and chief marketing strategist at Inkyma. Inkyma is a full-service marketing agency, and we bring that big agency process and feel to small businesses and small business owners. We do marketing strategy, branding, website design and hosting, content marketing, search engine optimization, social media, and digital advertising. To learn more about what we do, ask a question, or to schedule a marketing evaluation for your business, go to our website, inkyma.com. That's INKYMA.com. So we are well on our way into the show and the podcast series. So if this is your first time or one of your first times listening, welcome back. I strongly encourage you to go back and listen to previous episodes. I reference them often in up-and-coming shows, and you can listen to those on the website. And we are also on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. So when it comes down to it, marketing is a numbers game. The more people you make aware, the more people who will buy from you. So, and then within tactics, what you try to do with languages and imagery and all these other things is to improve your conversion rates. And if you listen to episode 3, which is the 5 mistakes people make with their websites, I talk a lot about improving what is where and what you do on a website to get more people to contact you, to engage with you. And so today I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a deeper dive on that topic and talk about website landing pages and how to create them, how to use them so that you can improve your conversion rates even more, so that when you're putting awareness campaigns out there or you're trying to achieve things with campaigns, you put your best foot forward to get the most people to engage with you. Why are landing pages useful? Why are they important? So I want you to imagine that you're running a campaign with a specific call to action. For that campaign, you create a specific landing page that talks only about the problems that a specific benefit of your service solves. And that is how you're going to reach more people that are interested in that one particular incident and get them to reach out to you. So let's talk a little bit about landing pages versus full websites, because there is a difference between the two. So your main website, you've got navigation, you've got information about all of your products and services, more at a general level, just enough hopefully to get people interested, about your company, hours of business, how to reach out to you. Hopefully you have a blog. And that's what a website is for, is to give people really good general information about you, especially if you do have a blog. Maybe they come across one of your blog articles first before they hit your main site, and then they can navigate and learn more about you. A landing page is highly, highly specific for a specific campaign and a specific action that you want someone to take. It's a single page, and its only focus is whatever it is that you want someone to do in that specific instance. So let me share an example. I think it'll make it a lot clearer. So let's say we have a pet care company. They offer pet boarding, they offer grooming, they offer doggy daycare, they offer waste management in the home, like cleaning up the yard. They do pet sitting. They'll even take care of your pets when you're at a wedding, or they'll even walk your dogs for you if you're at work, right? And their main website talks about all those things, the hours, how to contact them, drop-off times, pick-up times, all that good stuff. But this company, they want to run a very, very specific ad for Thanksgiving travelers. So Thanksgiving is a big travel time of year. People go see family. A lot of times they have to fly. They can't take their pets with them. So they want to run a campaign, a digital ad campaign, an email campaign to those that are traveling, something along the lines of, If you're traveling for the holidays, make your pets a holiday reservation now too. And so when you click on that ad or that email, it takes you a landing page that is very specific about talking about making a boarding reservation, a kennel reservation for Thanksgiving only. Call to make your reservation, click on the reservation link button, make it now versus waiting till later. We fill up really fast. There could be a sense of urgency there. So you can tell how this is very different. This one particular page is extremely different than the entire website. And that's really the big difference between a website and a landing page. And so you definitely need a website, but you can use landing pages effectively to help grow your business as well. So let's talk about the type of campaigns that you can use landing pages for. I'll give you a couple ideas to kind of think about. Digital ads, I kind of referenced that in the example above. They're going to run an ad on Google or Facebook or Instagram, and then the buttons or links can link back to the landing page. You can have landing pages for people to sign up for your sales funnel or for a drip campaign, which are kind of the same thing. Sign up for a newsletter if that's your goal. If you're running print ads for whatever reason, make sure they have a QR code on them, and that QR code takes them specifically to the landing page. You don't want to waste all that time and effort of getting them to read it and then open the QR code just to send them to your main website. If you're hosting a webinar or an in-person event, the sign-up page is really a landing page, hopefully from your website. And then other types of sales, promotions, especially if you're sending that promotion to a specific group. I had a client where we found a Facebook group that was really all of his target market. Like these were his people. And so he wanted to send the people in that group a specific way to get them to sign up for his newsletter so that they could get a really deep discount coupon for his offer because they would be great clients for him. So what we did is we posted a link with a message in the group. We got the admin's approval to go to the page to sign up to get that special coupon. And so it was highly targeted, and we actually talked directly to them like, hey, Facebook group, blah, blah, blah. Sign up to get your 25%, 50% off coupon. And then if you have an office of some sort where clients come in and out of, like a law office, a dentist office, a physical therapist office, you can have in-store signage that takes people to a specific landing page. Let's say you want them to give a testimonial. They can scan the QR code and then follow the instructions on the landing page to give you a testimonial right then and there. Because I know if any of you have tried to get people to give you testimonials, it's a bit of a chore. So we try to make it as easy as possible. And then another thing that we like to do with landing pages is, let's say you're a brand new company and you're creating all your marketing assets, including your main website. You can put up a really quick landing page to get people to sign up for news and notifications about when you launch, to get special pre-launch offers. So that way, when your site does go live and you're ready to kind of open your doors to the world, you have a warm audience already building because you had those landing pages in place. And you can have more than one. So that kind of dives into my next section. My favorite things about landing pages is you can have as many as you want. So I talked about a bunch of different examples, but if you're that pet boarding company, you can have a landing page for Thanksgiving boarding, and then a different one for Easter, and then a different one for vacation times like June, July, and August. You can have one specifically to business travelers, right? Because the more specifically you talk to the people, the better your conversion rates are going to be because they're going to self-identify with the language that you're using on the page, which you really don't get to do on a regular website because then they're too big and bulky. So have 10, 15 pages because the rest of the world doesn't see those. They're not going to be part of your main navigation. They're like these siloed orphan pages. You need the URL to get to them. But on the other hand, if they are part of your website, meaning they're using the same domain name, but just different pages, and you have them indexed for search, Google will see them as part of your site. So then you're going to look much, much bigger to Google, which helps with ranking, and then your content is extremely specific on those pages. You don't always have to index a page. Like in the instance where our offer was for a specific group, we didn't elect to index that page because we just didn't want anybody coming across it, signing up and getting that deep discount. We only wanted that Facebook group to get it. These are web pages. It's just like a website. So what you can do is you can use Google Analytics or whatever your favorite analytics tool is and collect data. You can see how many people hit the page. You can check to see if there's video on the page, who clicked to watch the video, how long they stayed on the page, who clicked any of the lead buttons that are on the page. So it's just like data for any other page on your site. And the great thing is you can track it from the source all the way through. So you can see what the numbers look like from a Google ad versus a Facebook ad. And you can see the Facebook ad and you can see how many people actually clicked on an action button that came from that source, or are you getting your most from organic? And what this leads to is this data is important for how you run campaigns in the future. If you see that Facebook works better for you when you're trying to sign people up for a newsletter than Google, then you put more of your ad spend dollars in the Facebook ads. But let's say you're trying to get people to actually sign up or buy something. If you're in e-commerce, Google might be the better way to go. I don't know. It's different for every business. And so you've got to run the ad, look at the data, and then make adjustments. You're listening to Marketing Strategies, and I'm Audrey Kirshner. We're talking about using landing pages to improve your conversion rates. So now that I hopefully have gotten you inspired and excited about landing pages and thinking about all the possibilities of what you can do with them to help grow your business, let's take some time and go through what I like to call the anatomy of a good landing page. Because what you put on the page and where you put it is very, very important to those conversion rates, just like what I spoke about in the episode about the 5 website mistakes. So the order of the information is important. And so what I'm going to run through is I'm going to run through an example of one of my landing pages for Inkyma. It's actually about the 5 website mistakes. I have a sales funnel attached to that. Unfortunately, you can't see it if you're listening to me. So if you go to Inkyma.com into the show notes, there's going to be a link to the landing page, and then you can re-listen to this and then follow along with me as a refresher. So the first place I'm going to start is at the top, the very, very top of the page. And you'll notice that there is no menu. There are no links to social media. There's really nothing there. And what we're doing, because this is so specific, is we are trying to limit the shiny objects that they can click on and go away from the page. We want to keep them on the page. So you don't need a link to your main website. You don't need social media links, because really what you're trying to do is get them to do the one thing. And in this instance, on this page, I'm trying to get them to sign up, give me their email address so I can put them through a sales funnel that has 6 emails in it to get them to help them make a decision if they need to redo their website, why to choose us. So the less distractions, the better. So moving down ever so slightly into the first blue section is the header hero area. And this is where we put the problem statement right in the beginning. It's very specific. It's talking about websites. It's talking about getting more customers. You'll notice there's some text there, and then next to the text is video. Text is great. Video is better. The statistics are about retention are staggering. So viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video versus 10% when they read it in text. I prefer to have the retention and that light bulb go off 95% of the time, and they go, oh, yeah, I really want to do this, versus them skimming through the content and missing it. I like having both because the search engines like the text, which means they're going to rank the page higher based off of what they were able to read, and then the majority of the humans like the video. There are a portion of our population that prefer to read, and it's there for them too. So I've kind of covered all the bases with that. Then right underneath of that, in the green section, is boom, it's the solution. Give me your information, get the video, I'll explain to you what the mistakes are and how you fix them. That's it. No big pictures, nothing else. Again, you want to get to what you want them to do as quickly as possible. Now, a couple things I'm going to point out for you here is if you look at the call to action button, the blue button, it says get access to the video, right? It doesn't say get it now. It doesn't say download. It doesn't say any of that. It's very specific. So if they forget to, if they kind of read the side, they see the button, it's much more clear. You want to make things as clear as possible. So if your buttons are a little larger, and they're not fancy language, that's totally okay. First goal is to be clear, then you can be clever. But don't be clever and then confuse people. The other thing I want you to notice in both this section and the one above it is everything is embedded on the page. The video is embedded to play in the page. You don't click out to YouTube. And then the form, you actually fill it out, click the button, and you stay on the page. I don't give you a link and then you go to another page and then you fill out something else. That's really bad usability, because the more clicks someone has to make to finish or to get to the goal, the final objective, if you put it in kind of like gaming language, the less likely you are to get them to do it. So you want to make it least clicks as possible and as simple as possible. And then to that end, you'll notice too, I'm not asking for a lot of information. Name, company name, email address. You can go with strictly email address. The less form fields you have to that you're asking them to fill out, the more likely they are to fill it out. So even if the person becomes a client and you need 15 to 20 fields, don't start it here. Start it on the back end. Get them to give you the initial information, make additional contact, and then when they want to engage, you can have more forms and stuff filled out. But get the relationship ball rolling from cold to warm before you ask for all of that information. Don't make them work real hard to become a client. That's really, really the bottom line. The next section in white is the client testimonial section, right? So they've seen the offer, they've seen the solution, they're like, maybe, and then hopefully the client testimonials will bring it home. Hopefully they will self-identify with what they're reading, or even better yet, seeing. I like doing video testimonials. This page was created before I was doing a lot of that. But video testimonials are wonderful because they're passive consumption, right? Not only do you get that wonderful 95% retention rate that I mentioned, but they're passive, meaning someone will click on it and they'll just watch it. And then something could resonate in the tone or inflection of the person's voice. Maybe they look like someone they know, who knows? But then that adds credibility, validation, and again, give you a better opportunity to get that form filled out or get that button clicked on or get something scheduled, whatever your call to action is. And then the last blue section at the bottom, you'll notice it's join our newsletter. I have secondary call to actions on the page. These are optional. If you're just starting out with landing pages, keep it simple. One call to action, one thing for them to do. This one is maybe they don't want the video, but they know they need some type of marketing help. They kind of like the way this stuff was presented to them, so maybe they want to sign up for the newsletter, or they may want to just cut to the chase. And in the upper right-hand corner, I have my schedule a marketing evaluation button. All three of those are in sync. So in other words, let's say they just want to talk about their website. They can schedule the marketing evaluation button. I'm just giving them different options and choices. But like I said, is if you're new to this or if you're going to try to do it yourself, keep it simple. One call to action, one thing for them to click on if they make the choice to engage with you. So that's the whole page. And here are a couple other things I want you to keep in mind. You'll notice the page is really clean, really simple. It's optimized for mobile first and to be consumed quickly and to make a quick decision. We don't want them to stay for a long, long time. We want them to go, yes, I want this. Now I get it. And so if you happen to look at this page in mobile, you'll see that it doesn't take long to scroll to the contact form or to see any of the other call to action buttons. The video displays really nicely. There's not a lot of the images there to distract them. There's a lot of color changes to break up the sections. So when you're creating a landing pages, I see templates out there. They're big and beautiful and they've got pictures everywhere, but from a mobile perspective, that can get really distracting. And again, we want them to stay hyper focused when they're on this page. So, and then the last thing I want to talk to you about is where are you going to host these pages? So we use WordPress with Elementor. It's what we know. It's what we use. So I know definitely that if you have a WordPress site, you can absolutely have your main website and you can have as many landing pages built into that system as you want. And then if you're using something like a page builder, like Elementor, like Beaver Builder, like Divi, you can then make those, you can kind of break outside your main template and make those landing pages look however you want, depending on what you're doing. So If you're not sure if what you're using allows landing pages or you're not quite sure how all of that works, there are landing page services and companies out there where, you just Google it, you find them, you sign up for their service. They have templates, you fill them out, you launch them, and then off you go. And then depending on the package you choose, you can still track analytics for those external separate landing pages from your own. So those are landing pages in a nutshell. Hopefully you found this information helpful and useful, but in order to make it useful, you need to take action. It's only as good as how well you use it. So let's talk about real quick a few steps you can take now to get started with these landing pages. So first, which I think is the most fun part, is plan a campaign. Right? Figure out what you want more of in your business. Create a campaign based around your strategy. If you listen to episode 16, which is about seasonal businesses and how they should campaign, a whole entire marketing strategy, pull something out from there. Landing pages are wonderful for seasonal campaigns because you're talking to people about different things at different times of the year. And then once you create them for a year, you can simply reuse them for the next year with a couple different tweaks. So figure out what you want a campaign to be. You're going to run a special? Is it a seasonal campaign that's going to run for a few months? Then what I want you to do is decide on your tactics. What do you want to include in the campaign? Do you want to run digital ads? If so, what platforms do you want to run those on? Do you want to run them on Google? Do you want to do display? Do you want to do YouTube? Do you want people, do you have a healthy newsletter list where if you send it out with a call to action, you put it in the newsletter? Do you want to use search engine optimization? Search engine optimization is absolutely a marketing tactic. I'm going to do a whole show on just that. But you can put a landing page out there and not run digital ad spend against it. And if you've got it optimized right, you can get traffic that way based off of keywords. You can include social media. You can put landing page links out on your social media pages too. So you can do one of these or you can run a series of them all together. So figure that out. And then obviously you're going to need a place to host that landing page. Are you going to make it part of your site so that it's your site / landing page for campaign 1 or whatever you want to call it? Or are you going to use a service, right? Are you going to go to one of these external ones and just create landing pages there and use them? Then when you create your landing page, obviously go back, listen to this podcast while you're kind of structuring things out. Take a look at the example that I gave you because, for this one, we've got a visual that goes with it, which is kind of cool. And then really plan out what you're going to say, what you want your call to action to be, and then a hint. I think I talked about this in the strategy episode 1, but make sure your call to action is something that you actually want, right? I talk to clients about this when I first meet them. You don't have to have people call you. You don't have to have people send you an email. You can make your call to action to whatever works best for your business. I had someone who's like, I don't want phone calls. I don't have time for phone calls. Then we didn't put their telephone number anywhere on the site in any of their campaigns. Everything was, schedule a time through a calendar system or send me an email, right? No cold calls. Other businesses, that's all they want. They don't want emails or text. So make sure you know what you want your calls to actions to be so that you don't feel like you're annoyed when these calls when this stuff starts coming in for people wanting to do business with you. And so create your landing page, use a specific URL that you have, and then make sure, and this is really important, you're only using that URL in all of the tactics that you're deploying. So for your ads, use that same URL. For the newsletter, same URL. What you don't want to do is create all of this and then send some people to the landing page and send other people to your main website. Everything needs to kind of funnel down to that one page so that you can track everything. Like I talked about before, know where the traffic's coming from, who is hitting what where, so that you can make decisions going forward for both that campaign as well as campaigns into the future. What are your best sources? It's going to reveal a lot because it's so highly targeted and focused. And it may be different for different services in your business. One service, like the example that I talked about with the dog grooming, for their grooming, Facebook could be better. For their travel, it could be Google. It's not going to be the same across the board for every service. So you've got to track it and know. So here at Inkyma, we like to give back to the business community. I provide a free 45-minute marketing consultation to any business owner. Maybe you want to talk about landing pages. Maybe you want to talk about search engine optimization. Maybe you want to talk about hiring an agency to do everything on your behalf. That 45 minutes is yours to talk about what you want. So just go to our website, Inkyma.com, INKYMA.com. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see our Schedule a Marketing Evaluation button. Click on that, pick your best date and time, and we are on the books together. Maybe you just have a question. Maybe you have a suggestion for a show. I'd love show suggestions. I want to hear from everybody about what they want to hear about marketing. Scroll down to the bottom of any page there and you'll see a contact form in the footer. Just fill it out, put your question or your suggestion in there, and it'll come right to me. So I hope you found this information useful, educational, and helpful. If you did, definitely take action and do something with it, but also I want you to share it, right? I'm sure you know a lot of business owners, right? We all network. So help your fellow business owners. Share this podcast, share this episode so that they can get that educational information too. Because our goal here is to help all businesses grow and thrive in our business community. So thanks again for listening and have an amazing day.
Thanks for listening to Marketing Strategies, brought to you by Inkyma, online at INKYMA.com. Inkyma.com. Now heard every Saturday morning at 9:30 on KPPF. And hear the podcast on Podbean